Hi, my name's Nick from Educational Greenhouse, and today I'll be doing another Miro tutorial, but this one's special for workshop facilitators. So let's dive right back in. What you're seeing here is a Miro board, and if you want to know how to use Miro, we also have a tutorial. In fact, it's right down in the description. I'm going to provide one or two other links to tutorials that we have about Miro. Now, for when you're a facilitator, first let's just review some of the basic functions. Down here to the right, this is what you need for some of the navigation on the board. You can zoom out or you can zoom in. Remember, if you're using a mouse, you have different possibilities of using the track pad or the ball to zoom in and out. But down here is another possibility. You can fit to screen and so forth. You also have the settings up here. It's important, the different navigation mode that you might have. Also, depending on which type of account you have with Miro, then you have the possibility to share this with others. You can, for instance here, anyone with the link can edit. Then I can just send this link, that's right up here at the top. I can copy and paste that, and I can send this link to anybody else. And if I am sharing it with anybody who has the link, then they can go ahead and join this board and all of us can be on it together. So over here to the left, you have your toolbar. And down here at the bottom left, you have some additional tools, which are especially good for when you're facilitating a workshop, like voting. They even have their own video chat. The timer is also really helpful, and they have their own chat here as well. So, but let's go here back to the toolbar, as we call it, and you have certain apps or tools which are already here, and I talk about those in the other tutorial, but sometimes you don't have everything that you need. So you click on these three dots here, and then for instance, we really like to use the icon finder, so we can drag it over here. I love my emojis. And I think the most important then for a lot of you is going to be the Google image search. Anytime you're taking some notes or doing some brainstorming, then it's great to make it really visual, and it's really easy to get lots of pictures, which say 1,000 words, right? So, and another important one is the upload tool. You might have a PDF or pictures or something on your own computer, and you want to put that on this Miro board, and that's important that you have the upload possibility. The upload tool is also used for uploading via URL. So if you want to put in maybe a YouTube link or a link to some other website, that's one of the easiest ways to do it. So we have a group, let's say, of 20 people. They're all in a Jitsi room. We also have a tutorial about using Jitsi, and you can also just find that on our YouTube page. So one of the things you're going to be doing if you have a group, a larger group, and you want them working in smaller groups, maybe they're in different breakout rooms or in different Jitsi rooms, and you want to set that up ahead of time, then you would use these frames here. So I like to go by like a 16 by 9 frame. Of course, you can make them custom, any size you want. If you use the 16 by 9, sometimes it's easier to just structure everything, and you can really zoom in. A lot of computer screens are about 16 by 9, so you can kind of zoom in and you still have the whole frame that you're seeing here. And then you can call this frame, then whatever you'd like. Here you also have the control copy and paste. You can multiply your frames, let's just say. So there's two groups, my second frame, there's my third frame, and so forth. And so these frames are basically a whiteboard within a whiteboard. So you would tell one of your groups that they're going to be working in frame 1, and you'll see all of their little cursors in here inside of this frame doing all of their work, putting on their little sticky notes and using their arrows and adding some icons and smileys and pictures, etc., depending on what you're doing. That's how you get things set up on the board. And now the problem is, if you're on one of these frames and you're zoomed in and somebody accidentally moves it around and moves this here and everything, then all of a sudden your board can kind of get destroyed if you're not careful. And nobody's doing it on purpose, but when you're close in like that, that can happen. If you're signed up to Miro and you have administration rights, and that's something we make sure if you are facilitating a workshop with Educational Greenhouse, then we make sure that you have the possibility of doing this. You have to sign into Miro, and be one of the administrators on the board. And then you have some additional possibilities, and I'm going to show you the two most important ones. First, you have the possibility to lock objects. You can even select all of these objects and lock them in place. You can also click longer here. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Click longer here. Now they are unlocked again. Another possibility you can set up everything on your board, and then you can hide the frame. And it really hides also everything else that is in the frame as well. And this is then something that others on the board, they won't see this until you want them to, and then you can show them the frame. So I'm going to go down a little bit here to here's something. This is just a short setup. This was a few hours. We kind of had one document here which showed everybody what we're going to be doing on that day. We had some videos and tutorials that we added over here. So maybe you have some other resources that you want to share with them as well. We had 5 different groups doing some group assignments, and we got these boards all set up. We set up one of them, used copy paste to make it the same for the other. If you need that, maybe you have different exercises for different groups. We also had an evaluation at the end. And so you have a lot of different possibilities here. If you're creative, then you can really do anything. It's a whiteboard, and it's digital, and it's as large or as small as you want it to be. And that's one possibility of setting up a workshop. If you'd like to present your results, then maybe you're in Jitsi, for instance, or Zoom or whatever you're using, and you have the possibility of just sharing your screen. So here I could even go to my Chrome tab, and then I know that I can share exactly this Miro board with everybody, and they can see exactly what I'm seeing. Another way of doing this is if everybody is really on the board, then, and you're signed up and you have administration rights on the board, then you also have the possibility of clicking on your picture here and bring everyone to me, or I can bring single people to me. So if somebody gets lost on the board, that's really nice to either bring everybody or bring specific people. Again, you need to have administration rights on the board in order to be able to do that. Also to be able to lock and to be able to hide frames. Pretty much everything else you can do without even signing into a board. Then it's just important you have a link and that the person who created the board has shared it and given editing rights to anybody who's using the board. All right, that's it for this tutorial on facilitating a workshop with Miro. Bye-bye.